And to take this further, we have been joined by John Potts, Professor of Political Science at Northeastern University from Boston. Professor Potts, thank you so much for joining us here on WION. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Since the assassination bid, there is a new kind of rhetoric that we are seeing by Donald Trump that is calling for unity and resilience. I want to ask you, how different do you think his speech at the RNC is going to be than previously expected?
Well, we will see. I think that it's a different situation. I think certainly in the near term, the campaigns are both going to try to shift their focus and kind of how they talk about the opposition. But this candidate, you mentioned how polarizing this election is, and I think that's certainly the case. And both campaigns have tended to run on the basis of in opposition to the other, because so many voters are not particularly happy with the choices that we have, and they tend to be voting not for somebody but against somebody. So the campaigns have turned rather negative. Both candidates describing the opposition as someone who is a threat to democracy or will undermine the country. Language like that is very common. So, will they change that? We will see. We haven't. Trump has not given a speech since Saturday, since the event. So he has made a few press releases, but no speech. That will certainly come here at the convention. So we'll see whether he changes his tone and kind of how he frames the election moving forward.
Right. Professor, we are sitting about 100 days before the U.S. presidential elections. When an assassination attempt like this happens, and in a well-polarizing election, as you also mentioned, how does it change, given what has happened in the past that one could learn in this election?
Well, I think there's certainly a bump in terms of support for the person, the victim of that assassination attempt. And I think that will play out here, and you're certainly going to hear it at the convention. It will dissipate a little bit over time. I think the key in this election is not the ardent Trump supporters or the base for Biden. The key is the independents. Both candidates need support from independents if they're going to win. And so those are people that are going to step back from it a little bit more, and I think aren't quite as swayed by the circumstances of this assassination attempt. Because if it had happened 3 weeks before the election, I think it would have a bigger impact. It still may have some, but I think it will dissipate a little bit over time.
That's interesting you say that, Professor Potts. Thank you so much for joining us here on WION, getting us your insights.
Okay, thank you.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.